Time moves without mercy. Whether you act or hesitate, it keeps flowing. It does not pause. It does not wait. It does not bargain. Every passing second that escapes your grasp is one that will never return. Yet hidden within that same unstoppable current lies a secret. Transformation can unfold faster than a blink. This is the paradox few ever understand. They assume change is a slow climb, something that demands months, years, or lifetimes of struggle to undo what's been wired in. But quantum physics whispers another story. It says that in the very instant you choose, within a single breath of alignment, a new timeline opens. And so the real question arises: if time will move forward no matter what reality are you allowing it to carry you into? We've been trained to see change as a mountain, an exhausting uphill battle, one relentless step at a time. Yet every mountain hides a secret doorway, a narrow passage few ever look for. That doorway isn't discovered through effort or through time, but through resonance. Science tells us particles can exist in multiple states until observation collapses them into one form. What if your life works the same way? What if the future you believe will take years already exists, waiting for you to collapse it into the present? This isn't poetic fantasy. It's quantum potential at play. But here's the twist. Most never find the doorway, not because it doesn't exist, but because they're hypnotized by time itself. Picture a pendulum swinging side to side. Watch it long enough and it feels slow, steady, predictable. But shift your gaze to the still point at its center, the axis it hangs from, and you'll see the truth. There is a place of perfect stillness, a timeless origin from which all movement begins. Transformation is born not from the swing, but from that still point. The paradox is that change accelerates the moment you step beyond time. Most chase methods, affirmations, validation, but none of that touches the axis. The axis lives within, in the exact instant you stop being carried and choose instead to become the observer who shifts the swing itself. It may sound abstract, but neuroscience proves it. The brain isn't fixed, it's fluid, adaptive, and can rewire in moments of coherence. When emotion, thought, and body synchronize, new neural paths appear instantly, meaning the self you've been dragging for years can dissolve and reshape in a heartbeat. The belief that transformation takes time isn't truth, it's conditioning. And conditioning is repetition without awareness. The moment awareness enters, the illusion begins to break. But that's not the deepest reason change can happen instantly. There's a hidden key, and it's about to reveal itself. Imagine standing before two roads, one long, winding, endless, filled with obstacles. The other nearly invisible, yet leading straight to the summit. Most, guided by past struggle, choose the long road, because they trust difficulty more than ease. They equate pain with progress. But what if that belief itself is the chain-slowing transformation? What if the hidden path is already here, but your mind edits it out? Quantum physics shows the observer's expectation shapes reality. Expect difficulty and you collapse the hard road. Expect immediacy and the shortcut appears. So which reality are you choosing to observe into being right now? Here's the paradox again. Knowing this, most still won't act. They'll understand, nod, and let another day drift by unchanged. Time keeps eroding potential until, years later, they awaken wondering where it all went. But your presence here isn't by chance. The fact that these words reached you means the field is already guiding you toward the doorway. The only missing step is yours to walk through it. That moment isn't tomorrow. It's not next month or 5 years from now. It's now, right now. The paradox of time and change is simple. The longer you wait, the more you create waiting. The faster you choose, the faster a new world collapses into being. Somewhere deep inside you already know this. You've felt it, those rare instants where everything shifted in a breath, a realization, a decision. That wasn't coincidence, that was quantum law revealing itself. But the puzzle remains. Why do those moments feel rare, accidental, instead of something you can summon at will? The truth is, they were never rare. You simply haven't learned to stand at the still point on purpose. That is the missing key. And once you learn to touch it, change will no longer be a distant dream, but a living reality. Time will still move, relentless, neutral, unstoppable. But you will finally move with it, not within it. Ask yourself, will you let time carry you into more of the same? Or will you finally step into the paradox, the doorway where transformation doesn't take time at all, because it happens only in the now? Keep listening, because the hidden mechanism behind this instant shift is about to surface, and it will unravel everything you thought you understood about change. We've been trained to believe that transformation must be slow. Therapists speak of years spent unraveling childhood pain. Self-help teachers preach endless rituals. Long mornings, constant affirmations, a decade of discipline before true change appears. Society reinforces this pace because it profits from delay, from people waiting longer, consuming more, doubting themselves. But in the quantum view, speed is meaningless. Reality doesn't measure time as the human mind does. It responds not to duration, but to state. The brain, the body, and the field don't care how long you've been trying. They respond only to coherence. That's the hidden mechanism behind instant transformation. Coherence, not time, is the real currency of change. Picture a tuning fork. Strike one and place it near another tuned to the same note. The second fork begins to vibrate instantly. It doesn't spend years learning resonance. It simply aligns. You are no different. When your thoughts, emotions, and body move in harmony with a single frequency, you immediately resonate with the version of reality that carries that vibration. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. Mystics call it embodiment. Physics calls it resonance. Different languages describing the same truth. When alignment is achieved, the shift is immediate. The only delay lives in your belief that delay is necessary. Think about memory. Recall a painful moment and your body doesn't wait days to react. Your pulse races. Your stomach tightens. Stress hormones surge through you instantly. The body doesn't distinguish between what's remembered and what's real. So if you can relive fear in an instant, why can't you also embody joy, gratitude, or power just as fast, simply by choosing them? That's the mechanism most people overlook. Your biology is already wired for instant response. You've just forgotten how to use it consciously. But wait, this still isn't the full picture. There's one missing piece. Without it, coherence dissolves as quickly as it forms. Quantum physics confirms this truth. On the subatomic level, particles respond instantly to the observer's attention. They don't hesitate. They don't stall. When focus shifts, the wave collapses into a new form. The delay doesn't exist in the field, it exists in us. In our hesitation, in our doubt, in the inner conflict between what we desire and what we embody. That's what traps us in repetition. It's like planting a seed and digging it up every hour to see if it's growing. That's what doubt does. The soil, the field, was ready to sprout at the moment you planted it. But your interference keeps resetting the process. The truth is, the mechanism for instant transformation has always been here, waiting for you to trust it. What slows the process isn't the field. It's your inability to stay in resonance long enough for it to stabilize. Pattern. Interrupt. Pause. Notice your breath for a moment. Has it softened? Has your awareness turned inward as you listen? That isn't coincidence. It's the field responding to your attention in real time. Simply by noticing, you've interrupted the automatic rhythm of your nervous system. That interruption is the opening. In that instant, you stepped out of habit and into choice. That's how thin the veil truly is. One breath, one shift in awareness, one decision, and the machinery of identity begins to reconfigure itself. You don't need time. You need intensity of presence. Most people make the mistake of trying to think their way into new states. They repeat words, write affirmations, but never engage the body. Without emotion, words are hollow. Without physiology, thought is only static. The mechanism activates only when the triad of thought, feeling, and body converge. That's why ancient practices, mantra, dance, ritual, held such power. They were never about words. They were about coherence. When a tribe danced around the fire, they weren't wasting time. They were aligning as one organism, collapsing a shared frequency of reality. Modern science now calls this heart-brain coherence. When the electromagnetic field of the heart synchronizes with the brain's wave patterns, the entire body becomes a transmitter, pulsing a single unified signal. That's when instant shifts occur. And yet, coherence alone isn't the full equation. Think of a laser beam. It's potent because it's coherent light, all photons vibrating in perfect unity. But what gives it power is focus. Without focus, coherence is just a glow. This is the missing piece most overlook. They touch alignment for a few moments, in meditation, in gratitude, in awe. But without focus, the energy scatters. The hidden mechanism requires both coherence and focus. Only when your awareness locks onto a chosen reality and holds it without fragmentation does the field instantly rearrange to match you. So the real question becomes, How do you sustain focus when the mind is addicted to distraction? That's where the technique soon reveals itself. But for now, understand this. Your transformation isn't slowed by fate, karma, or outside forces. It's delayed by incoherence, scattered attention, and the belief that time must pass before change can occur. Remove those, and transformation happens in the now. The hidden mechanism of instant shifts is already operating within you. Every time you breathe, every time you feel, every time you observe. What's missing is conscious mastery, and that mastery is exactly where we're heading next. You may have already sensed it. Thinking about transformation is not the same as becoming it. The mind can accumulate endless understanding, but until the body encodes it, nothing changes. This is the silent barrier that keeps so many stuck. They gather knowledge without embodiment. They read, listen, visualize, but they do not vibrate differently. And vibration isn't metaphorical, it's measurable. Every cell in your body emits an electromagnetic signal. Every thought carries a chemical imprint. Every emotion radiates a frequency. Science has already confirmed it. Your state is not who you are in theory. It's what your body is broadcasting in this very moment. That broadcast determines the reality you collapse. Neville Goddard called it living in the end, not as a mental exercise, but as a state of being. Dr. Joe Dispenza echoes this truth, that when the heart and brain move into coherence, the body begins to live as if the future were already here. In that state, your nervous system stops waiting for external proof. It encodes the new reality from within. And here's what's remarkable. The body doesn't argue. When you convince it through emotion and presence, it cannot distinguish between memory and imagination, between the past and the future. This isn't poetic theory. It's neuroscience. Brain imaging studies reveal that vividly, imagining a skill activates the same neural circuits as physically performing it. The mind literally rewires itself through imagination. What you rehearse internally becomes what you express externally. But embodiment reaches deeper than neurons. The heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the human body, extending up to 3 meters in every direction. When you sustain gratitude, joy, or love, the rhythm of the heart becomes coherent, sending an ordered signal that synchronizes with the brain. This state is known as heart-brain coherence, and in it, the entire nervous system transforms in that moment. The body begins to broadcast a different frequency. If thought is the spark, emotion is the current, and physiology is the transmitter. Then together they create vibrational encoding, the imprint of a chosen reality into your very being. Without this encoding, desires remain abstract. With it, they become magnetic. Imagine a radio. You might have the most beautiful song recorded, but unless you tune to the right frequency, you'll never hear it. In the same way, your desired reality already exists as a signal in the quantum. Field embodiment is the act of tuning your entire system to that frequency. Merely thinking about it is like holding the radio but never turning the dial. Feeling it while the body remains in stress is like hearing static, fragments of melody, but never the song. Only when thought, feeling, and physiology align do you tune in clearly. This is why people experience what seem like miracles, spontaneous healings, sudden breakthroughs, instant manifestations. They accidentally stumble into perfect vibrational alignment. The secret is you can do it on purpose. But here's where the next paradox appears. If the body is capable of such perfect encoding, why do most fail to sustain it? The answer is uncomfortable, because they don't truly believe they deserve to. From childhood, we're trained to postpone joy, delay ease, and distrust what comes effortlessly. We're taught that effort earns worth. That struggle builds value. So even when coherence is reached for a moment, people unconsciously dismantle it because the nervous system has been conditioned to equate safety with struggle. This conditioning runs deeper than thought. It's biological. Cortisol rhythms, neural pathways, and muscle memory all reinforce the belief that life must be hard. Breaking that loop requires more than new thoughts. It demands re-encoding the vibration of ease directly into the body. Picture a dancer learning their first steps. At first, every movement is deliberate. Left foot here, right arm there. Mechanical, fragmented. But something shifts over time. The body takes over. The dance becomes effortless, fluid, alive. That is embodiment. The dancer no longer thinks about dancing. They have become the dance itself. Transformation follows the same rhythm. In the beginning, you practice presence, gratitude, and alignment as if they were foreign habits. But once you cross the threshold into vibrational encoding, the effort dissolves. You no longer try to feel different, you are different. That new frequency becomes your natural state. This is the instant when reality bends because you stop seeking alignment and start transmitting it. For centuries, mystics have said the same truth. Become what you seek. It was never about pretending, it was about imprinting. You cannot think abundance while pulsing fear, nor speak of love while vibrating self-rejection. The universe doesn't listen to words. It listens to resonance. Your real prayer isn't spoken. It's the energy you radiate. That's why some manifest with ease while others struggle despite devotion. It isn't effort that creates, it's coherence. So let's close one understanding and open another. Instant shifts occur through coherence, and vibrational encoding sustains them. But if embodiment and coherence are the key, why don't we all live inside miracles? Why do even advanced practitioners fall back into fear or doubt? The answer isn't time, it's intensity. A single second of full embodiment outweighs hours of distracted trying, and there exists a precise way to access that intensity. One that merges coherence, focus, and encoding into a single act. That's where we now turn. Everything we've explored so far leads to one unshakable truth. Transformation doesn't require time, it requires alignment. So how can you align at will? How can you fuse coherence, focus, and embodiment into one instant powerful enough to rewrite your reality? The method is disarmingly simple, so simple that most overlook it. The fastest technique for transformation isn't a ritual, or pages of affirmations, or a lifetime of self-discipline. It's an act that unites thought, emotion, and physiology into one signal to the field. It starts with the breath. Breath is the bridge between body and field. Every inhale receives, every exhale releases, yet most breathe unconsciously, never realizing they hold within them the most direct mechanism of change. Here's the method. Breathe consciously into your heart, not the chest, but the space behind your sternum, filling it with living energy. Hold it gently without strain, as if the universe itself pauses with you. Then exhale slowly while evoking the feeling of your chosen reality. Gratitude, joy, freedom, peace. Don't think the emotion, generate it. Let your body respond as if it has already happened. This breath, fused with emotion, ignites coherence. Now comes the key step. As you breathe and feel, give your mind direction. Focus not on the lack of your desire, but on the frequency of having it. If it's abundance, sense richness flowing through your body. If it's love, feel connection warming your skin. If it's freedom, feel expansion in your chest. This isn't standard visualization, it's real-time vibrational encoding. Your breath instructs the nervous system. Your emotion charges the field, and your focus collapses possibility into form. One breath like this holds more power than 1,000 unfocused thoughts. Science supports this. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that heart-centered breathing, combined with elevated emotion, generates measurable coherence. This state balances hormones, harmonizes brainwaves, and radiates an electromagnetic field that interacts with the world around you. In that moment, your body becomes a laser of frequency, beaming into the quantum field. When paired with directed intention, this broadcast synchronizes with potential realities already existing as probabilities. The field doesn't resist, it responds. The shift is immediate because the field is beyond time. You might wonder, can it truly be this effortless? The missing link is consistency. Most stop before the signal stabilizes. They take one breath, feel alignment flicker, then return to stress. But imagine doing it with intention 3 times a day. 3 conscious breaths, each one a full embodiment of the reality you choose. Not years, not decades. Just moments of pure coherence. In those seconds, the nervous system rewires, the field locks onto a new signal, and your reality begins to reorganize to match it. The technique works quickly, not because of speed, but because of intensity. Intensity breaks the pattern. Pause for a moment. Place your hand over your heart. Inhale deeply as though the air flows directly into that space. Exhale with gratitude as if what you've been waiting for has already arrived. Feel that shift? That subtle change is the method itself. You didn't wait years or fight for it. You simply chose coherence, focus, and embodiment in a single act. Now imagine choosing it daily. How different would your life feel 6 months from now, a year? The quantum field responds faster than you think, but it waits for your signal to stabilize. That's why the ancient mystics said prayer isn't in words, it's in state. Why Neville Goddard spoke of living in the end, and why Joe Dispenza teaches that elevated emotion plus coherent intention equals manifestation. They were all pointing to the same principle: breathe, feel, focus, embody. It's so simple that the mind overlooks it, yet powerful enough to transform your life. The only real barrier is your willingness to practice, not with force, but with awareness. So here's your anchor point. Write it, claim it. Declare it below: I breathe my future into the now. This phrase unites intention and action. By typing it, you reinforce embodiment itself. Don't let this remain an idea. Declare it, feel it. Collapse timelines with your own breath. The door is open, the path clear. Transformation doesn't belong to some distant tomorrow. It lives in the moment you choose to embody it. With every conscious breath, you hold the power to rewrite your reality, yet knowledge alone isn't enough. The question now becomes, how do you live inside the technique? How do you make the quantum shortcut your normal state rather than a temporary glimpse? That's the journey ahead. Knowing the method is one thing. Living within it is another. Most people treat these practices as rituals, something done in the morning, forgotten by afternoon, and remembered only when life feels heavy. But the quantum shortcut isn't a ritual. It's meant to become the baseline operating system of your life. The breath, the coherence, the embodiment, these aren't tools to use occasionally. They are frequencies to inhabit until they become your nature. The difference between those who touch transformation once and those who live it every day isn't luck. It's continuity. Think of how a river shapes stone. One drop of water seems meaningless, yet over time its steady flow carves entire canyons. The same applies here. One breath may open the doorway, but repetition builds the new landscape of your existence. Neuroscience calls this Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Each time you breathe into the heart and summon elevated emotion, you strengthen the neural pathway of coherence. With repetition, that pathway replaces patterns of stress, fear, and doubt. Spiritual traditions describe this same process as building faith. What science names neuroplasticity, mystics have always called devotion, and this is where the quantum shortcut reveals its hidden power. It accelerates time. When you dwell in coherence, life reorganizes around you in ways that defy logic. Opportunities appear unexpectedly. The right people cross your path. Obstacles dissolve into timing so perfect it feels orchestrated. The rational mind labels it coincidence, but the quantum perspective calls it resonance. Your vibrational encoding broadcasts into the field, and the field reshapes matter to match. Living within the shortcut means no longer chasing outcomes linearly. It means magnetizing them effortlessly. You've likely experienced moments when everything aligned in a single day. You met the right person, received unexpected news, or felt a sudden wave of clarity. Those weren't accidents. They were brief windows of coherence where inner and outer reality harmonized. The tragedy is that most dismiss such moments as luck, rather than glimpses of their natural design. The shortcut isn't about creating those moments, it's about normalizing them. Imagine waking each morning not wondering if life will work out, but knowing reality bends to your state. Problems dissolve not because you fight them, but because your frequency no longer sustains them. That is the essence of the quantum shortcut, the collapse of effort into alignment. A true pattern interrupt. Notice your mind wanting to reason with this, perhaps whispering, "It can't really be that simple." That voice is conditioning speaking. The shortcut feels impossible only to those who've built identity around struggle. Yet even physics reveals, struggle was never a rule, it was merely a choice. The electron never strains to rise to a higher orbit when energy touches it. It simply leaps. The body never struggles to mend a cut, it just closes the wound. Ease is nature's baseline. Difficulty is the distortion we were trained to admire. The shortcut is merely a return to that effortless rhythm. To live this way, you must practice not only conscious breath but continuous awareness. The world will try to pull you back into stress, fear, distraction, and every time you'll feel the urge to rebuild the old reality. Yet the shortcut never leaves. It's always as near as your next breath. The question isn't whether it works, it always does. The question is whether you will remember to choose it. Forgetting takes you back to the long road. Remembering brings you into the shortcut. Life becomes a dance of remembering until remembrance itself becomes your natural state. This is where the shift from doing to being unfolds. At first you practice, breathe, feel, focus. But soon the practice dissolves. You awaken already aligned. You enter a room and people sense something wordless around you. You speak and your words carry a resonance beyond meaning. You stop seeking proof because you are the proof. That's the point where manifestation no longer feels miraculous, it feels ordinary. Reality simply responds to who you've become. Yet one curiosity remains. If the shortcut is this potent, why doesn't everyone live within it? Because the human mind craves complexity. We mistrust simplicity. We look for 10-step formulas, 20 rules, lifelong effort, because complexity excuses delay. The shortcut strips that illusion away. It whispers, one breath, one focus, one embodiment. Now. And that simplicity frightens us, because it removes all hiding places. Once you see that change can happen instantly, time can no longer take the blame. Waiting can no longer shield you. You must choose, and choice is power disguised as responsibility. Living in the quantum shortcut isn't perfection, it's persistence. It's choosing alignment again and again until choosing becomes as natural as breathing. The field doesn't demand flawless coherence. It simply follows direction. Each moment you realign, you send a new signal, and reality reorganizes. Over time, the accumulation is breathtaking. A year from now, you might look back and barely recognize the self who once waited. Not because you climbed slowly, but because you found the hidden doorway and walked straight through. And now we arrive at the edge of the final revelation. Beyond the speed of transformation lies something far greater, a way of moving beyond time itself. Not merely living faster, but living timelessly. That's where we're heading next. Once you understand it, the very idea of waiting will dissolve completely. The allure of speed is powerful. Everyone wants instant change, immediate results, manifestations without delay. But speed still belongs to time. It still measures itself by days and years. To truly step into the quantum nature of reality, you must leave speed behind. You must enter timelessness. In the quantum field, there is no waiting room, no countdown, no linear path. There is only the eternal present, the infinite now. And once you embody this, life stops being about racing toward a future. It becomes about living inside the frequency, where the future is already fulfilled. Think about how you experience flow that athletes speak of moments. When the game slows to a heartbeat, artists describe losing track of hours, yet never feeling time at all. In those states, time isn't faster or slower, it simply vanishes. Neuroscience reveals that in flow, the brain shifts into an altered state of awareness, quieting the prefrontal cortex, the part obsessed with clocks, plans, and control. The result? You step outside the walls of linear time and into the infinite field of possibility. Mystics call it presence. Scientists call it transient hypofrontality. Both describe the same truth. Timelessness is the real power. When you live from timelessness, desire itself transforms. You no longer wait for what you want. You live as if it's already here. You stop striving and start radiating. You stop waiting and start allowing. It's a subtle shift, yet it rewires everything, because the quantum field does not separate past, present, and future. It only mirrors the state you hold now. When you dissolve into timelessness, you stop vibrating as the one who waits and begin vibrating as the one who has. And the field, loyal as ever, reflects it instantly. Consider light. For a photon, the particle of illumination, time does not exist. It leaves a star billions of years away and reaches your eyes as though no time has passed at all. The photon lives in the eternal now. And so do you. You are made of that same field, guided by those same laws. Delay is a human fiction, not a universal law. To live as timeless is to remember your nature as light, moving beyond time, collapsing possibilities instantly, embodying what already exists instead of waiting for it to appear. Pattern interrupt. Feel this moment, right now. If you stopped counting hours, forgot the date, released the story of when, what would remain? Just this breath, just this pulse, just this now. That is timelessness. And within it, everything you once thought was far away folds instantly into reach. Your dreams were never distant. They only hid behind the illusion of linear time. Lift the veil, and they are already here. This is why the ancients placed presence above all else. The power never lived in someday. It has always lived in the now. Neville Goddard taught that imagining the end as real collapse is delay. Joe Dispenza shows that living in the feeling of the future rewires the brain and body. Immediately, Amit Goswami reminds us that consciousness selects reality in the eternal moment of observation. Mystics and scientists meet at this same intersection. Timelessness is creation's source. To live beyond. Speed is to be free. You stop measuring yourself by clocks or comparing your progress to others. You stop postponing joy until conditions cooperate. You begin living as if everything is already whole. And that is precisely when wholeness appears. People will call it luck, fate, or magic, but you'll know it's simply timeless coherence moving through you. And this is where your journey continues beyond this video, beyond this moment. Because what you've learned here isn't just a method, it's a doorway into a new way of being. If you're ready to deepen this path, to live timeless embodiment with guidance and clarity, I've created a resource for you, an ebook called Awaken, Your Quantum Power, complete with a companion guide to help you live these truths each day. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. So let's close with this truth. Time will pass either way, but who you are in the now decides what that time will bring into being. Don't chase speed. Step into timelessness. Because when you do, life stops being about waiting for transformation and becomes transformation itself. And once you live in that state, miracles are no longer miracles. They are simply the natural rhythm of who you are.